Hello everybody, it's the Steckline Report. Nice to have you aboard today. Hey, you're going to get tired of me talking about the Farm Bill, but you know it's such an important issue for agriculture that we've got to kind of keep you folks informed as to what those jokers in Washington are doing. Because maybe you can head off a wreck, which I think we've got two semis going against each other already in the same lane. But in any event, senators are pushing for different things all over Washington. And I'm going to talk about some of them coming up right after this.
I first got started in the cattle business. My wife and my father-in-law got me into it. I love dealing with the animals and being in the outdoors. At American Ag Credit, I know a lot of them are in the same business that I am. You know, therefore they understand what I need and what problems I'm against, so they can work with you on it, and it makes it much easier.
It's been passed down to me through the generations, and I want to pass it on down to the next generation or two.
Well, folks, a bipartisan group of senators are again championing tighter farm payment limits as changes are made to commodity programs in the debate over the next farm bill. I gotta tell you, there will be more people that'll want to be involved in this farm bill than we have issues in the farm bill by far. Here we go with Senator Grassley, who I think is a great guy, and I think his heart is where agriculture is. Senator Tim Johnson, South Dakota, I think he's another good guy, but they're spearheading a bill which is the reintroduction, really, of Rural America Preservation Act. Remember that thing? It was introduced last year and probably went about as far as from here over to there to that wall. And I don't know if it'll do this again, but it probably has a better chance, because the whole issue is they want to cut back payments to the big farmers and pay more to the little farmers and the mid-sized farmers. Example, this legislation that they're coming up with would have a $250,000 cap for married couples. It maintains a hard cap on marketing loan gains. Under a shallow loss program, it would set a $100,000 cap for a couple under that program. It would also tighten language defining actively engaged to collect payments. Grassley says there's too many people claiming they're actively engaged because they participate in a phone call or two each year about the farm. But you just wait and see. You get somebody that works day and night on the farm and then keeps a fire burning in two other locations doing other things, they'll probably crucify that person. And well, anyway, we'll have to wait and see. I don't think this thing has got a chance anyway, but they got quite a few people behind it, including Farmers Union, National Farmers Union. Senator Ben Nelson's behind it. He says for too long mega farms have received mega payments. And I agree to that to a certain extent, just to a certain extent. You know, they talk about $250,000 cap. Well, if you're a halfway decent-sized farmer, your tractor costs that much. And you sure as heck can't buy a combine for anything less than that. And so it doesn't seem like they really know what the score is out on the farm. And most of them haven't been there lately. National Grain and Feed Association, watch them. They are really pushing for a program that they've done almost all the history of their career, and especially in the last 10 years. Randy Gordon's their acting president. He told a country elevator meeting at their convention this year that preliminary results of a study shows that roughly 8 million acres in CRP is Class 1 and 2 farmland. Now, under this Class 1 has slight limitations that restrict its use. Class 2, moderate limitations that restrict its use. Well, guess what the National Grain and Feed Association want? They want those acres to come out of CRP and be put back in production. I can understand that. I'm not knocking them for wanting that. I just want to tell you why they want it, farmers, so you get cheaper grain prices. And I can't blame them. They buy the grain. They want to buy the grain, so consequently the cheaper the better. And the more of those acres they can get out of CRP and put in production, the cheaper it's going to be. By the way, South Korea Free Trade Agreement goes into effect. That should help us a little bit. And we'll have more along the Farm Bill coming up in the next Steckline Report. So stay tuned.